Hi there kids, it's Rex again, and today we're going to be talking about finding inferences within a story that we read. This is going to be so exciting. We're going to find out how to find inferences. I can't wait to learn about it. Finding inferences, Rex? Now I understand a lot of things, but how do we find an inference within the story? I mean, that sounds pretty hard, isn't it? It can be hard, Reggie, but thankfully we have a formula that we can use to find inferences. And to help us with that, we're going to turn to our good friend Leo the Lion, who's going to show us the formula of how to find inferences. Take it away, Leo. Now, to find an inference, we need to figure out what an inference is. Here's a good definition down here. Okay, an inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge of the world. So, let's look at some pictures. Over here, we have facts. These are going to be text clues. Now, a text clue is what is found in the story. Those can include a who, what, when, where, and how. So, for example, text clue like, say, Halley's Comet, for example. That would be a text clue. Now, we add our text clues with my knowledge. So, talk about background knowledge. So, what is it that we know about, like, say, Halley's Comet? Well, we do know that, let's say, from my knowledge, astronomers look at comets. So that could be my knowledge. And based on that, I add my facts that I learned from the text and my knowledge, my own knowledge, that will give me my inference. Now, when you are doing tests, these are the stems that our test would use to help us realize that this is an inference question. So, for example, the reader can tell because, or they could say, what is the most likely reason that happened? Let's put this in practice and see what we can find. Okay, now we have a question here. It says, the reader can tell that people don't keep slugs as pets because slugs, because the way this question is written, this tells me this is an inference question. So, let's look at the text where this question comes from. Okay, this is a portion of the text that this question goes to. It says, no one would want a slug for a pet. It's not a pretty animal. So, in here, we have the information we have to answer the question we just saw. Now, let's figure out and infer the answer to this question. Let's do that. Now, what I've done here is I've underlined some context clues. First one is slug, and the next one's pet. Now, I did that because in the question we saw, it mentioned slug and pet. Now, I look at this last sentence, it's not a pretty animal. It's another text clue. So when I put it down for my text clues, I would say slugs are not pretty, because that's what the text says. It says, it's referring to the slug is not a pretty animal. Let's build some background. Let's use our personal knowledge. Now, I don't know much about slugs, but I do know something about pets. And I know that dogs and cats can be good pets. And the reason why I think that, aside the fact that they're pretty to look at, but they're also very dependable. So I wrote down here for my knowledge, dogs and cats are pretty pets. So that I put that with the text clue with my knowledge. And based on that, we can figure out the inference to answer our question. Let's answer our question. After we do our inference, we add the fact that slugs aren't pretty, plus dogs and cats are pretty pets. Put that together, we can infer that slugs are ugly and they would not be good for pets. So let's go back to our question, okay? Alright, we're back to our question. The reader can tell that people don't keep slugs as pets because slugs, and we put our inference, are ugly or unattractive. This is what happens when we put text clues with our background knowledge, and then we can infer the answer. So again, we add our text clues with our own knowledge to find the inference. Good work, Leo, for giving us that information about making inferences. But to add more to the point, I asked my friend Mr. Sims to present for us a whole brain exercise that'll help us understand inferences better. Take it away, Mr. Sims. Okay guys, when we make an inference, we're going to start with this symbol, so lift up your pinky finger. In American Sign Language, this represents an I. We're going to use this symbol for making an inference. Okay, so this we start, say, an inference is an educated guess. Okay, so we're pointing to our head. This is an educated guess. So an inference is an educated guess based on facts. Okay, this is hard facts. Okay, like the text clues. So an inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge. Okay, this represents my knowledge. So, okay, an inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge of the world. Okay, so I'm making a circle with my hands. This represents the world. An inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge of the world. So let's do that again. An inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge of the world. An inference is an educated guess based on facts and my knowledge of the world. That is how we do the whole brain for an inference. So remember, kids, an inference is an educated guess based on facts and your knowledge of the world. Remember, this is how we figure out inferences. We take the facts that we learn from the text, add that to our knowledge of the world, and then we get our inference. Now, remember, you work hard, believe in yourself, for I believe in you, and if you can put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Good luck in your studies. Ha ha! Rah!